Hello, hello. We are now reading chapter 1064 of One Piece, Egghead Labo Phase. From the title, I'm expecting that we just return to Egghead Island and we see no more of that insane Law versus Blackbeard battle. But I do think we'll probably check in on Kid's crew as well then, see what's happening on that third island, and just kind of set up that there's these three kind of major events probably all happening in parallel. And also to get the sense probably that Luffy is blessed that he went to this island where, there isn't just like a gigantic pirate emperor waiting to kill him. Or who knows what the heck trouble Kid is going to get into, but I'm sure it's something disastrous. Instead, he gets to eat from the food machine. Beautiful. Fated. A blessed person. Here, as I realized last chapter, it was indeed Kuzan, formerly Aokiji, the former admiral, who froze over that whole Cake Island and kidnapped Pudding. Of note here is that Van Augur is here too. So this kind of we can try to date the cover story relative to the main story. So it definitely happened before. Which is something we've seen with cover stories before. They kind of take place immediately after their initiating event, and then they kind of happen in a compressed period while the main story is happening, and then the ramifications of them at the end have kind of already happened in the main story, and then we just kind of catch up. So I'm just saying this because Van Augur was in the very last chapter, in present day, doing stuff, and I don't think Aokiji was there, and I don't think Pudding was there, so this all must have happened a while ago. But here we can see this is probably the effects of the warp fruit, right? There's this kind of swirling dust. It looks like they just showed up there. Pudding's surprised. Everybody else is cheering and stuff. Yeah, we got her. So I feel like this is the strength of the warp fruit, is that it's a much greater range than the op fruit that Law has. And they're able to warp all the way back to the ship from the island with Pudding. Pretty broken. Anyways, oh my god, we're still fighting this. Okay. All right. So he's telling his crew to jump back into the submarine and take to the sea. Blackbeard is coming down with the Quake fruit. By the way, I didn't say this last chapter, but Blackbeard looks awesome. This character design is so freaking cool. Okay. So he slices Stronger in half. Stronger, of course, undamaged. It's not an actual cut. He flies in, smashes with the Quake fruit. The Docu's exploding apples still in effect. Ooh, now we get to see the strength of Law's crewmates. He's usually operating so solo. But here's Sachi. I think this is Sachi. I think Penguin is the other one. Sachi popping out of the water. Is he a fishman? Was he always a fishman? What? How are people getting all these fishmen? Blasting off jets of water to destroy the exploding apples. Frigid North Blue Port. Get the best of us in a sea battle. Okay. John Bart, the former slave that they freed from Sabaody, tanks the shot from Van Augur. Okay. Where's Pudding? Okay, just kidding. Whoa! Kind of owning Blackbeard here. And this is something that we've seen from Blackbeard before. He doesn't plan well. He doesn't have good coordination with his team. And it kind of puts him in this interesting parallel with Luffy, where Luffy also doesn't plan well. And Luffy also isn't very coordinated with his team. But there's this kind of animosity among Blackbeard's crew, where they all are kind of vying for the crown. They almost want to see each other fail and stuff. It's been hinted at here and there. And it's more just out of respect for Blackbeard's strength, but not with actual any affection that they follow him, it almost seems like. Whereas Luffy, of course, they all love him, and they can compensate for the fact that he's going to rush in without a plan. So here, I still have my bets on Blackbeard, which seems maybe crazy since a giant sword just went through him. But I feel like he's still going to win, and it's going to really speak to their overwhelming broken-ass fruits and strength and stuff, that despite not having a plan, despite being totally outmaneuvered by Law, they're still going to win. Then Augur warps up, and then warps Blackbeard back down. Still saying the same. Weakness, the sea. Benefits are worth the risk. That's how devil fruits work. Again, it's cool that almost these old school power structures of One Piece are becoming at the forefront again with some of the strongest characters in the series. That the devil fruit does have the major weakness. If you're in the sea, if you're hit with sea stone, whatever, you're screwed. And that doesn't change even if you have a broken ass fruit. And it's about, are the benefits worth the risk? And this kind of interesting rock, paper, scissors where, yeah, you can beat normal people probably, but you'll die in the water. Trying to sink our ship. Didn't know they were good at fighting in the water. Come on, you could have figured that out. They have a submarine. Whoa, dude. Pudding is here. This is the most connected the cover story and the main story have ever been. Was this the final chapter of the cover story? No. So more stuff is going to happen in the cover story. Maybe with the rest of the Germa. Maybe it'll show the rest of the Germa realizing the Pudding's been kidnapped and then somehow deciding through some bizarre political understanding they ought to be the ones to save Pudding or something. There's Pudding. I'm still alive. We won't be talking like that much longer. Okay. Is Big Mom really dead? Yeah, probably. She's in a pit full of magma. Okay. Law makes sword grow. And then here comes the darkness fruit. Winter Island in the New World. Blackbeard has made contact with Law. And Sakazuki Agino is just I want to fight. I want to go and fuck him up. I got magma fruit, dude. You think you can fuck with me? And then he knows, there's no point in going to fight now. Just wait until the fight concludes and try to pick off the winner. Pacifista came to a streaky what? Okay. So Bonnie ages everyone up as a disguise. Okay. These poor old people. I like the in a different future too. Because Oda in the SBS has shown what the crew will look like when they're old. And I think he probably wants to keep those canon instead of this withered elderly Luffy. Instead the kind of badass Garp looking one. And who knows, maybe by the end we'll have a big flash forward area of the series. Maybe we'll have one of those shonen endings where we time skip to 50 years in the future and see how everybody's doing. So he's not committing that this is canon. This is a different future. Age 70. Poor old Schaffer. Poor old Jinbei. Actually, Jinbei looks fine. He's just got white hair, but he still looks fine. Or no, Jinbei's a kid. Jinbei, I think, became a kid too, right? He got de-aged. Just like Bonnie de-aged herself. Here's what I know about Kuma. Start off the wicked king of the Survey. Yeah, he was Kuma the Tyrant, right? So I'm wondering, was that just propaganda or something? He was driven off and became a pirate. Played with the Revolutionary Army too, until the Navy captured him and sent him to life imprisonment. Vegapunk was enamored with his muscle and latent abilities. In exchange for taking part in the body augmentation and clone development, was allowed to return to freedom as a warlord of the sea. Okay, so this is, I think, such a great little bit of exposition because all of this stuff is stuff we've learned very much scattered throughout the series, right? And it's outside of the expectation of anybody but a One Piece mega fan to have this all together in their head. Only me and some other sickos will remember all of this stuff just offhand. So the other thing I think is cool is that it's Jinbei telling us this stuff, because it's like he would be informed, he would be kind of like in the know enough to kind of put all this together and to have this kind of like coherent mental image. It would be absurd if Luffy or even Chopper was able to remember all this stuff. And then it's also true that Jinbei kind of has like distance from it. Like he wasn't there for a lot of the events where the Straw Hats learned this stuff. So it's kind of like he's just learned this stuff on his own, maybe as a fellow Shichibukai, as someone who is up on the news and reads the newspapers and stuff. Anyways, it's all sort of just very elegant, I guess, the way they can put together this whole history on one page. Okay. Turning into a cyborg might as well be a death sentence. I'm gonna make such a deal if they knew the consequences right from the start. Whoa, she got like a lightsaber or something. By the way, I didn't even like comprehend the fact that we cut so hard here because I was so distracted by the withered Luffy and stuff. But yes, we're back on Egghead. Okay. Prison is a heavy sentence. How many crimes must Kuma the Tyrant have committed? Father was not a tyrant. He hated the world government. He would never work for them. Experimented on him by force. Full of the remains of Vegapunk's inventions. We could use these. Point is, it's murder in the name of science. My father told me he was from a special people. Ooh, Bartholomew D. Kuma? Before he experiments on him. Doesn't give him the right to kill him. Okay, everybody back to their normal age. Whoa, okay, meanwhile, the super flying robot, which is huge. I love the design of this thing, by the way. It's like so old school. It's like the first era of giant robots in Japanese media, you know? Like Gigantor by Tezuka and stuff. It had these sorts of designs. It's like very cute. It's like a little Toriyama-ish, but like proto-Toriyama almost. Floats using anti-gravity. Only possible due to the island's air conditioning. But reality all over the world. This is the island where we build the future. Future Island Egghead. Top the clouds is the labo phase. The research happens. Fabrio phase, the factory level. They're just like so nonplussed. Alright, yeah, Luffy's down there causing havoc. That's fine. Okay, I see how this works. So they're flying up to the labo phase, which is the title of the chapter. It looks awesome. This big broken egg floating in the sky. Eggs? Where have we seen a big egg before? On Roger's ship? Just kidding, I don't think it's related. I love that it's like tropical and stuff up there too. It just kind of feels like, you know, that's his own taste, is that he wants something really lush and vibrant and stuff. Okay, they stay on the ship, makes sense. Ooh, it's like a sky island. They're bouncing on the clouds again. It's recreating the island clouds and sky clouds from Sky Islands. We didn't deduce that at all. Change into research sheets before you enter. Okay. This is so fun. These new outfits. So futuristic. I guess the island theme is a pretty consistent one. That Sanji got an island shirt too. Frankie's looking good. He's kind of aping that old school robot style with his big key on the front. I love the big boots too. That's also super old school. That's like Tezuka style, like Astro Boy and stuff wears boots like that. It just has such like a fun like retro future aesthetic. I don't know. I'm loving this so far. And just the joy that Oda still takes in showing something like how the boot cinches onto your foot, right? The imagination in it It's almost like Ito making things like Deno Coil or Orbital Children or whatever, where you can tell there's a real genuine fascination and fun in thinking about all the little quality of life things that would be enabled by technology in this era. All the little things that this sort of quirky inventor probably would think to invent, even if they're not the most practical or necessary. Robin looks tough. You look like a perv in any outfit. Being ingenious means being able to see what even your own future contains. Suspect that my death is imminent, so I wanted you to hear me out, Whoa! I don't know, man. Even with his friggin' capitalist chump change food machine, I had the suspicion maybe deep down Vegapunk was actually on our side. Does he have some sort of leftist kill switch which will turn all of his devices anarcho mode and start a revolution against the world government? I don't know. And here we see the real Vegapunk, who looks like he's in Daft Punk. Is that where the punk in Vegapunk comes from? No, just probably not. I don't know. All right, that's it. We're caught up. Really excited to read more. Let's look forward to it. This new arc is really fun, and it's so significant, too. The amount of connections we're getting to the Revolutionary Army. This might actually turn out to be like the Revolutionary Army arc, as well as being the Vegapunk arc, and the Fun of a Sci-Fi World arc, and the Jewelry Bonnie arc. And probably Frankie will get a big arc here, too. It is a lot. There's a lot going on. I can't wait. Let's read more when we can. Bye-bye.